Joe Biden's State of the Union. Well, what a State of the Union that was, and a sign that the wily old Biden isn't going to go down without a fight. The whole thing was absolutely remarkable. Indeed, for a man who says he is so determined to cut America's carbon footprint, there was enough gaslighting to raise global temperatures by half a degree and guarantee Australia another year of El Nino. Sorry, Sydney. And speaking of Australia, Biden's 2024 State of the Union also felt to me, as someone who watches politics in both countries pretty closely, some might say obsessively, a lot more like an Australian budget speech than a report to Congress on how things were going, which is the original point of what only in recent decades has become such a set piece of political theater. With the exception, of course, that Australians are generally positive people, unlike Joe Biden, who served up what was largely punchy and pugilistic words designed to tick all the boxes to get his supporters to come out and vote once again more for old Joe. You know, their January 6th, Roe v. Wade, fat cat corporate salaries, tick, tick, tick. And then there was this.
This is the moment to speak the truth and to bury the lies. Here's the simple truth. You can't love your country only when you win.
Really? Okay, well, it's pretty ironic for Joe Biden, who represents the side of politics that constantly demonizes its opponents as not just MAGA, but ultra MAGA, which often denies elections themselves, and which tries to keep Donald Trump off the ballot in the event people in a democracy vote for the wrong guy. This sort of demonization was on show during the speech when Steve Nikolai, whose Marine son was killed in Afghanistan, heckled the president, yelling phrases like 13 Marines at Joe Biden, a reference to the 13 Marines who were killed in the botched withdrawal from that country. Now, I don't think you should heckle a president, but if anyone has a right to be mad, it's a Gold Star father who is being lied to by his president. And for his trouble, for his free speech, he was reportedly handcuffed after being taken out of the room. But just remember, Joe Biden is all about the forces of light and freedom and democracy. It's the other guys who are sinister autocrats who want to jail their enemies. But it is important to understand here the political calculus behind what we saw tonight. This was a speech that was entirely designed to shore up Biden's base against dire poll numbers and indications that those who voted for the president in 2020 are starting to break for Trump in 2024. Now, a lot of people are going to come out and say that, well, the speech, it was a win for Biden. He made it through with a minimum of stumbles. He didn't fall over. And like the proverbial dancing dog, he did a good job because he managed to do it at all. So I guess lots of credit to the White House baristas or whoever else made him that extra strong cup of coffee that got him through the little ordeal. He made a big pitch for his performance on the economy and on uniting America versus those nasty Republicans, pivoting from Ukraine to the Jan 6 riots to claims the 2020 election was stolen, to the great problem of shrinkflation. And there was a lot of arguing with Congress over, well, all sorts of things.
In November, my team began serious negotiation with a bipartisan group of senators. The result was a bipartisan bill with the toughest set of border security reforms we've ever seen. Oh, you don't think so? Oh, you don't like that bill, huh? That conservatives got together and said it was a good bill? I'll be darned. That's amazing. That bipartisan bill would hire 1,500 more security agents and officers, 100 more immigration judges to help tackle the backload of 2 million cases, 4,300 more asylum officers, and new policies so they can resolve cases in 6 months instead of 6 years now. What are you against?
Total gaslighting. We all know that Joe Biden could fix the border by undoing all the executive actions he took when he entered office, but he doesn't want that. He wants to fight with Congress. And again, On the surface, this speech seemed like something that was filled with righteousness and passion. But at the end of the day, it was an address full of anger and error.